What is good, everyone? It's me. It's Dom, and a little serious video. Not really, just more in the way, cause I'll be really personable and personalitable. Who knows if that's a word in all my other videos? But I always gotta throw in a couple serious ones. You know what I'm saying? Like that can really relate to me. Especially if you're in the same situation, same boat. I think most people aren't, but you see the video. How or I mean the title, How No Contact Saved My Life. All right. Big major transformation just from doing this thing. It's absolutely insane. So I went into no contact thinking she would miss me. She would come back. She would start begging and pleading me and chasing me. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what happened. That's not really why I did it. I did it because I that's what I thought would happen, but in reality I needed to do it. It's I didn't know it was like a healing mechanism, or like I think I did, but that's how big the attachment was, for me, in the way that I had to do that. I had to pull back. I had to use this or whatever. I wasn't really like using it. I mean, at first, for sure, like the first couple months, I for sure was using it. Like I said in the video, if y'all want to go back to that one, Heartbreak Summer, you know what I'm saying? I was trying. I don't even know how I was trying. I really wasn't doing anything, but that's what I was doing. I was using it as a tool, not you really using it to focus on myself for at least the first 1 or 2 months. And real waste of time. Yeah, never doing that again. But you know, and I really looked at myself, and at first it was painful, super painful. Withdrawals, 1 2 months, super bad withdrawal symptoms, and reality, I had to do it because, like I said, the anxious attachment makes you feel like this person is your safety net, is your comfort, is your emotional security. And I didn't know this. I didn't even know I had that engraved into me until I found out more research. And I was like, is that why I'm like this? Is that why I feel I need this? Because it wasn't like I wanted her. It was more like I needed it. And when you come from that point, that's weakness. That's unattractive. And it's just you're so weak, and it just makes you feel so constricted. It makes you feel constricted, like you depending on someone. And that's why I'm saying you got to do the work. And if you don't know this is in you, you won't know until you know. You won't know until you feel a loss. And like I would feel it in my heart every time the situation would get worse, so she'd pull away or whatever, and then I'd feel like a panic deep down. And that's why it hurt so much, because it was like the end. It was truly the end. And second to silence. The silence showed me how attached I was. It showed me how much I needed something or someone. It showed me how much I needed that comfort. It showed me how empty that void, what was left, what was gone. It showed me like, sheesh, like really, like that big, when a routine happens, you're so used to someone, you're so used to something and things, and a routine builds, and then it's just taken away and it's just gone. It's just dark. Like, I can tell you, whenever I would drive around in the car, just this empty seat, it always just felt something is missing. And I know a lot of people have gone through this and stuff like that. Women, men, everything. Even my mom too. Like, literally, she might have the same attachment. Anxious, who knows? But you just think, you always think, man, someone's coming back, but it's just like that's out of your control. You know what I mean? So it always just felt like that void, that emptiness, and it just felt weird. There was just some energy that was just missing. And that's probably one of the worst painful things of all time too, because after some time, your brain forgets all the bad things. Your brain, what is it called? What do they call it? I don't. Uh, I can't put my tongue on it, but the fadeaway bias. Oh man, thank the Lord. The fadeaway bias, and it's when your brain tends to forget all the bad things and starts to forget and starts to only remember the good parts. whenever I can clearly remember so much bad things, if I just really think hard about it. I'm just like, nah, 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 nah. So the fadeaway bias was really strong, and I don't know why our brains do that. It's pretty weird, but who knows? Okay, three, I changed what I consumed. I got notes. I used to do it off the top of my dome, but I really want to start doing notes. I changed what I consumed, and like, bruh, for the months I was stuck because all I was looking at was like dating and no contact via propaganda. But the switch that happened is literally whenever I literally just look at other things besides that stuff, I changed what I consumed. I started consuming, like, this year. What happened was investing, masculinity, and this is everything I'm preaching. This is everything I'm transforming into. This is everything I think you can learn from me. If you're in that point, you're trying to fill a void, or if you're just on here, you're just randomly watching, or just whatever the case may be. This is all important, and this can transform your life if because it's transforming me. And I'm talking about long term growth. And if you use this and put it into your own life, you're literally going to be ahead of anyone else. I promise you. So, investing, masculinity, faith, minimalism, dating, consumerism. I don't know what that says. Fasting, I think it says fasting. Self improvement. All this stuff can change your life. What is it? Five? I can't read my own handwriting. That's terrible. Four. I don't even know what that says. Anyways, four. My time and attention were finally back to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the most important things from this. No contact isn't just for someone else or for a romantic. It's also for friends. It's also for your mental peace, clarity. I think this is genuinely one of the best tools. It's absolute. Oh, I think it's top tier because you put yourself, like, say you and a friend get on bad terms, you just go no contact, you just don't talk to them until they contact you, and if they don't, then y'all wasn't really for real like that. If they don't have, if they can't come and apologize or do whatever, if it's perfectly fine for people to go without talking to you for days, months, and not bother them or act like it doesn't bother them, bro, that person ain't for you. No, you don't need them in your life, bruh. It's not up to you to fix things. I promise. It's not up to you for to fix things unless it's your fault, of course. But even then, it's mutual. It's mutual reciprocation. It's so important. People got their own minds and lives and things, but if it's a friend or a relationship or whatever, where at that point it's not you. Stop putting so much on the you. You got to start putting your time and attention on the you. And when you do that, you can make a fulfilling, exciting, happy life, man. That's what I figured out. And it was just like all back to the attachment. You know what I mean? All right. Five, I became financially aware, and I finally understood after blowing so much debt can trap you. This is probably the worst thing. I think it's in the Bible. You're a slave to the, like, when you're in debt, you become a slave to the lender. Seriously, all because of what? Especially with depreciating assets, and a car is the biggest thing. I understand a new car, maybe they got terms, maybe they got, but if you go with that new car, you better. I'm not saying better. You can do whatever you want, but look at the paperwork. Look at how much money you're paying over time. I think of that money as right now, and it freaking blows my mind. And so, clear it off as fast as you can. And now you got a new car and use it for until it blows, kicks rocks, right? Debt can trap you. Investment is freedom. This it's literally true. Investing is freedom. And doing it as young and starting out as early. And this is why I think, like, literally, I never knew about it. I always knew about it, but I never knew how strong and powerful it was. But it's so powerful. I promise, the younger you are and the earlier you start, the more money you can accumulate over so much time and just be more free. You retire earlier, spend more time with the people that matter, don't, hey, no one should quit working. Once you quit working, people hit rocks like that, but coast. There's a thing on YouTube, Coast Fire. You know, that's literally they coast. They don't do something as hard as you can. You know, sacrifice for a little bit and then you enjoy the rewards more later on. But that's what it is, especially people like me, especially people who don't have all the types of money. You know what I mean? And I'm 21. I'm young. I understand this more than anyone my age. I can't think of anyone thinking like this. At least there's people all over the internet. Way better. Yeah, of course. But that's on the internet. But people in my surrounding area, of course. Okay, right? But you know what I mean? So yeah, that six boundaries and reciprocation. You know, the masculinity thing, I started learning more obviously with the dating and stuff. Boundaries, reciprocation, that wasn't in that relationship. And that's just young love, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, hot, fiery. That's not my fault. That's just what happens, you know what I'm saying? You get out of hand and it's just that's just what happens whenever it's just a lot of emotional stuff. That's what happens with that type of love when it's just hot and cold, you know, makeup break up to make up or whatever. I don't even know. And reciprocation, I think, is important. That's something important with me. I'm never gonna chase a woman ever again. I promise. That sounds cold. It's really not, to be honest, because when you think of yourself as like high, not higher value than them, but just in the way it's just like I got it going on. I truly know myself. When you're that man, you think you got that confidence, you got that abundance, and you feel like I deserve someone. You know what I mean? You just get that arrogance, that confidence, and women don't see that because they only see the exterior. They might not think you're ultra looking. That's why they got to feel your interior and feel what you got going on, you know, and then they start like pursuing you or whatever. They start being liking you a little bit more because obviously in the beginning the guy has to do more. In our day and age, the guy has to chase, not really chase, but pursue and show more interest. Nothing is wrong with showing interest at all. That's confidence. But I understand now if I don't get anything back, then there's no point because what do you get from chasing? You just lose money, you lose time. You know what I'm saying? There's no point. So I learned to not chase. That's why it's like, sheesh, it's probably gonna be a minute for me. Minute for me. Distance helped me stop reacting. You know, I was always emotion reactive. I was always reacting immediately. Always need to solve something immediately. Always need a freaking but no. No, when you can step back, I learned I need space. I need space to not get attached because your boy got anxious attachment issues, and that's gonna keep you from going weak. No, I'm just kidding. You're gonna get attached no matter what. It don't matter when she's in your arms. Whenever she's whispering sweet nothings into your ear, you know, rubbing your shoulders or whatever, you're gonna get attached. You're gonna get attached. But just know and understand you got to be able to always walk away because you have value. And whenever you're not getting what you need to be getting, you can walk away. But the hit distance helped me stop reacting. You know, stop checking, stop looking, stop overthinking, and just finally get back to me. That took a minute, but it finally got back to me, and it was just the attachment. That's all I knew. It was just a bad emotional attachment. Eight, me and God. I'm telling you, me and God became much stronger, much healthier, much better. I literally like the amount of work I tried because there was like nothing. I literally spent so much money. I'm telling you, but there was nothing. That's what it is. No amount of money will fulfill you. Your money will take away your problems and help you live stress free. But I promise, money in itself won't make you happy, okay? And once you figure that, you won't know it until you figure it out, until you actually get there, you know? So that's the thing. There's always a void in vices. And it's just I wasn't trying to go towards vices, you know what I'm saying? Because it was just like I know what that does because I've seen it from other people. I look at other people's actions. I see how it affects them, and so I literally just started praying every single day, all the time, first thing in the morning. Not contentment, gratitude, all the time, and I still do it. And I still do it. And I think everyone should do it because it keeps you humble, and it keeps you just fearing, not fearing, but fearing in the right way. I think nine, my future. It saved my future. It saved my future. Financially, thinking and what direction I want to go. You know, a lot of people don't really know what they want. A lot of people don't truly know who they are. They just follow the crowd. You don't need to follow the crowd. You really got to know who you are. If your friends aren't there, if your family ain't there, do you really know who you are? Can you sit in that silence? Can you be alone? Can you enjoy yourself all the time in that car? I was just vibing out, just just listening to music, just having so much fun singing. And in that time I felt so happy and so free, and I was just doing it, and I was going out all the time alone. I don't know how this contributes to my future, but we go this is just a subplot. All the time, not caring about the expectation. And this is where that mindset all came from. Let's see. And it directs my attention back to my future direct my attention in my future direction, you know, because I'm not far from entering actual adulthood. I'm an adult, you know what I mean? But like actual like responsibilities. Obviously, I don't have a lot of responsibilities right now, but thinking in that way, you know, 20, 25, 23 year olds, people early 20s, most of their attention is not in their future. Yeah, they got their future. They're thinking of things, but it's not a long time from now. They're not thinking that. They're still doing a lot of fun things. They're still doing a lot of bad things. You can make as much mistakes as you want. You can take as much risk as you can because you have so much time, which think you believe you have so much time, but in reality, it goes quick. It goes quick like that. And the next day, you wake up and you're 34 years old, 40 years old, hating what you're doing. And I was like, nah, bruh, because I seen that growing up. I seen that from other people. I see that at my job. I seen grown. I'm like, nah, bruh, you can't. So think for yourself for real too. So it saved my future. And in the end, it didn't bring her back. And if you're in this situation thinking, bruh, no, it's just a waste of time. I say it. Think of the time. Think of at the end of your life, the stat line of all your hours accumulated, right? What are you doing with that time? What are you doing with that time? How is this contributing to a better you in the future? Future oriented. And there's so much people, the best thing is always on the other side. No matter what, it's always on the better side. And I'm going to be preaching more and talking a little bit more. And this was a good one, man. I'm just excited. I would have never gotten to YouTube if I didn't do this, And whatever it may be, I'm still documenting it for myself because, man, it's so cool. I think this is so cool. I think people should just let go. Whatever. I'm probably gonna cut all this. I ain't gonna cap, but